Here's my haul from yesterday pulling boxes. I'm gonna try and get these unloaded out of the truck this morning before the bees find me. If I counted right, there's 51 boxes here. There's probably 20 that are just empty. They don't have anything in them, but we'll see. As I unload these, I'll kind of sort them out and figure out what's got a little honey in it so that I can extract and what's just empty. And then we'll get set up and start extracting today sometime. Okay, I got my boxes all out of the truck. I've got 2 stacks here that are partials. There's some honey in them, but not tons. So I'm going to call those partials. There's 18 of those. And there's these 3 stacks are pretty well full. So there's 25 there. And then I had 1 stack of 8 that was just empty. So not too bad. It's not going to be the greatest honey harvest this year, but we'll take what we can get. I've got all my honey boxes pulled. They're behind me. Had 52 boxes. Probably 25, 26 of them are pretty full. And I've got another, 18 that are partials. And then I had about 8 that didn't have anything in them. So not going to be a great honey year. I'm expecting, 800 to 900 pounds in this pull. The last time I pulled, I only pulled about 400 pounds. So I'm going to be in the 12 to 1300 pounds this year range, which isn't great for me. I'd rather see 15 to 1600 pounds, but it is what it is. It's been a hot, dry year, so it's not been a great honey production year. I'll just show you my setup a little bit. Have a table here, bucket of soapy water, and I just use that as I need to clean up and wipe off my hands and whatever. Just try to keep things clean. My honey supers are here. I'll unbox them, grab the frames. I'll come here and I'll uncap them. I like a capping plane. Let's see if I can show you this a little closer. I like a capping plane. It works, it's heated. And the only thing I don't like about this is I wish there was a thermostat on this. It gets a little bit too hot if you don't watch it. But I just have to keep an eye on it and make sure it doesn't get too hot. But I like it for the fact that it doesn't leave a lot of little tiny flecks of wax, which just plug up these strainers. When you use a capping fork, it creates lots of little tiny pieces of wax which plug these strainers up really quickly. And the capping plane, I don't find that to be the case. So I'll just uncap. They'll go into the extractor. This is a Hilco 24 frame extractor. I love it. It's perfect for my size, and I can grow, I think I can grow quite a bit if I wanted to, and still use this extractor and be just fine with it. I love once you get the program set, all you have to do is load it, hit go, and it will ramp up the speed as it goes along, and you don't have to do anything with it. I'm about 15 minutes for a batch if I get it loaded right, and if it's warm enough in the room. One of the things you can't see is I do have a heater in here, and I'm actually heating my shed up, and I like it to be about 85 degrees in here, which is hot for extracting, and it's hot and sweaty, but honey flows better at 85 degrees than it does at 72 degrees. If I do it just at room temperature, it takes another 10 minutes in the extractor trying to just fling that really thick honey out. So I like to get it warm in here when I do this, and the only way I can do that is bring a heater in. So I'll get going and I'll kind of show you as I go along. I've got the process going, just so you kind of see what it looks like after I've done a few. So I uncap and I can stage all my uncapped frames right in the capping tank. In the meantime, I've got a batch going. And it's going to be finishing up pretty quick here. There wasn't much in the frames that I put in, so I'm not going to get a whole lot of honey out of that batch, but it's a little bit. And the colors, about what I expect for this time of year. A little bit darker than spring honey, but should be good honey. Anyway, I can tell that's just about done. It's up at full speed right now, and there's not much flinging out, so it should be just about done. In the meantime, I just uncap another 24 frames and have them all staged and ready to go. And then I can hurry and just unload and reload and keep the extractor going pretty much full time if I stay on top of it. But really, that's my extractor setup. You can see from what's coming out, there's not a lot of little wax flecks, a lot of pieces of wax coming out, some, but because I use the capping plane, I don't get a lot of little tiny wax flecks, and the strainer doesn't plug up as quickly, and I like that. I do have a few extra strainers ready to go, and I will have to swap them out, but other than that, there's my setup. Pretty simple, just straightforward, nothing fancy, but it works. All right, I'll show you how my capping plane process works. Pretty slick once you kind of get the hang of it. I found that if I put them at an angle like that, they're easier to get in and out of the capping tank when I go to load the extractor. See, I missed a little bit right there, but that's okay. Goes pretty quick. One thing I don't like about the capping plane is it can get too warm, and I have to turn it off for just a minute or two to keep it from getting overheated and burning the honey. The capping plane is the same width as the space between the two, the top bar and the bottom bar on the frame, so it fits in there just perfect. So you can get below the level of the frame if you need to. These are drawn out quite nicely, so it's not much of a problem, but You may have noticed that some of my frames aren't capped all the way, and I'm not concerned about it at all. Around here we're so dry that the honey almost cures itself. It doesn't take very long for the honey to dry out here, even in the hive. Even a frame like this, there's honey in there, but it won't come out, and the cells are pretty well full. And when they're that way, I know that the honey's ready. And if I put a refractometer to it, it'll probably test somewhere in the 16 to 17% range. I've been testing this a little bit as I go, and that's about where I'm at, is 16 to 17% moisture, which is perfect. So I'm not worried about it at all. It'll get mixed in with the cap stuff, and it's not a problem around here. We don't have a problem with honey that's too wet. If you wait until this point in the year and into August, September to harvest your honey, you can almost guarantee that it's ready to go. So I've got one more batch to go, and I'll be done for the year, for 2024. Pulled my honey supers yesterday and got it all extracted today in one day, which is great. I don't usually do that. It takes me usually several evenings after work to do it, but I just took the day off and stayed in the shop and extracted honey all day long and got through it. I think I'm going to end up with maybe 800 pounds. Some of the boxes weren't quite as full as I thought they were, so it's okay. With this little bit and what I extracted earlier, we should be about 1,200 pounds for the year, give or take. I'll have final numbers in a day or two once I weigh all these buckets and see how much I really get. It's not the greatest year, but it's okay. It's what it is. I've been excited to get this done. It's always a big project to get the last of the honey extracted at the end of the year, but it's fun to have it done and behind us. Now I need to concentrate on getting hives ready for winter. First order of business is get mite treatments in. I checking hives yesterday. My mite counts were higher than I would like them to be at any time. So I really got to get some mite treatments on. I'm going to use Guard, but it's a little hotter out here, so I'm going to probably only do 25 grams at a time. I might do 3 doses of 25 grams instead of the 50, but we can do that, and hopefully that'll help me get mites under control. Anyway, thanks for watching. Appreciate you following along and seeing what I'm doing. Have a good day.